This is my squash bed, and I'm growing an heirloom French squash called Rondenis. It's round. And it's awesome. Now I noticed that the squash vine borer has definitely done a job on all of the root area, the base of every plant. I still have harvested many squash, but now I see the plant is starting to wane, so I'm doing an experiment. The squash vine borer has done its damage. Stuff is still growing, and I have many new blooms, flowers, and hopefully squash that will develop. But what I want to do is continue to help the plant survive and be able to take up nutrients and bring it to the squash. So I'm using Diatomaceous Earth, and it comes in a bag. Use food grade. Never use Diatomaceous Earth that's meant for a pool, because it's not the same. Diatomaceous Earth is really fossils, ground up fossils, shells. And what that does is it abrades the soft-bodied insects or larvae. Is abrade a word? It really scratches them and dries them out. So what I'm doing is, everywhere where I see damage, I'm putting Diatomaceous Earth. I put a couple tablespoons. I'm also going to take this handy blower, this puffer. I'm going to put Diatomaceous Earth in that, and I'm going to spray all around and make a nice fine powder coating all over the stems, because the squash vine borer is a moth. It flies mostly in the evening. It's a beautiful moth actually, but it wreaks some major havoc. So it lays its eggs on the stems. Then the eggs hatch and the larvae burrow inside the stems. I've actually cut them out before with a razor blade and a piece of hooked wire, and taken them out of the plant. Cover the plant back up with soil, and sometimes it will survive. So I don't want to give up on this squash patch. I want to continue to get squash from it. So in order to do that, I need to take some measures. So I've cleaned up the bed. Anywhere where you see squishy stems, take those out. You can see all of the stems here that I've removed. That's a lot. Squishy stems, stems that look like they've been damaged. Here's a good example right here. This is what you see. You'll see the base of it kind of look like it has sawdust, or something has been gnawing at it. That's the larvae, the caterpillar of the moth that is hatched, and it just starts eating and chewing, and then it flies out, it pupates, and it becomes a moth again. So sometimes you can, it's pretty gross, but sometimes you can open up the stems and actually see the larvae. They're white. And you can get those out if you're careful without ruining the plant. Let's see. There's a division. The good thing about this squash, I've noticed, this Rondenis, it's a French heirloom, is that it does kind of resist the squash vine borer. And so you will get a harvest, and then you got to jump on it right away. I don't spray neem. Neem oil is from the bark of the neem tree, and yes, it's somewhat natural, but it can burn your plants if you apply it in hot weather and in full sun. I've read many people post on garden sites, what happened to my plant? I sprayed neem oil and now the whole thing's dead because you sprayed too much, you sprayed when it was hot. So natural stuff can do damage too. Let's go over here and I'll show you the base of the squash, where there's another one. There's another one over there. So pretty much everything has been affected. So now I'm going to put diatomaceous earth on the base, and I'm going to cover up all all of the base of the plant with soil and mulch to try to prevent more damage. I'm finished with the Diatomaceous Earth. It's pretty dusted. Now, I need to decide, and I'm no expert at this. This is just an experiment. I need to decide, do I cover it now with soil or mulch? Part of me thinks soil because, I don't know, but then soil can make the bases rot. Maybe mulch. Mulch would keep it from rotting. I'll figure it out.